Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. We have a special show for you today featuring highlights from our recent live stream from Nova Minerals' Estelle project in Alaska. Nova Minerals is a gold, antimony, and critical minerals exploration and development company focused on advancing its district-scale 199 square mile Estelle project in Alaska's famed Tintina Gold Province. We'll learn more later in the show. Before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small-cap stock analysis.
A new era of small-cap research has arrived with RedChip's RedChat, the fastest, most accurate AI assistant for small caps. The days of spending hours sifting through press releases, 10Ks, 10Qs, 8Ks, 13Fs, 13Gs, and other filings is over. Now, get answers in seconds on 4,000 small-cap stocks in one portal. Simple, fast, accurate, detailed answers. Meet small caps with RedChat.
Now let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Work hard, be a long-term thinker, develop tenacity, and remember, nothing happens without taking calculated risks. This quote comes from Phil Sassour of the Phoenix Group, and it is featured in Chapter 9 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now let's dive into the highlights from our special live stream with Nova Minerals.
Hi, I'm Christopher Tyson, CEO and Director of Nova Minerals, coming to you live here today from the Estelle Gold and Critical Minerals Project. What we wanted to do today is take those of you who are joining us on a more intimate look, closer look at what we do here at the Estelle Project. Today, we'll be looking at the camp, some of our facilities here at the Whiskey Bravo airstrip where we're sitting right now. We'll also go up and have a look at some of the drilling operations at our RPM deposit and also go to Stibium. But first, let's go check out the camp. Hop in. So we're just coming down from the airstrip down to the camp. You can see this is a fully winterized 80-man camp with lots of activities. We're in the high season right now, several drill rigs operating. This is our main workshop. We can fix the D6 dozer and large excavators go in there. Smaller workshop. Here's some of our equipment. We have quite a bit of equipment on site for our earthworks. Every year, we do some improvements here at this camp. Here's our generator shack. That's what powers the whole place. Let's have a walk through camp. And we're just going down the main drag here at camp. And you can see on either side, these are our accommodation units, sleepers. These are all sea cans that are custom made right here in Alaska. All the facilities on site, that includes cook and mess hall, professional kitchen, laundry facilities, even a gym for the guys to work out and the ladies. So at this camp, every year we make some improvements and continue to build it out as we move forward and the project continues to expand, particularly with the significant discoveries of antimony at the site. And here now we've arrived at the main geology office. This is really the command center where we manage the field programs and do all the planning. Just outside, we have our rock sample table, and there's some very exciting rocks here. You can see, we mentioned the antimony. Here's a piece of massive stibnite. This is, of course, the primary ore mineral for antimony, and we find these massive stibnite veins at the Stibium prospect, as well as at the Styx prospect. And here's another piece, and you can see that silver color. This is massive stibnite, so very exciting in terms of the antimony potential here at Estelle. In addition to that, numerous rocks from numerous prospects for gold. Pick a few up here. Here's one, and this one particular sample, you can see a very high-grade arsenopyrite. That's an indicator for gold. And this one we sent in for assay. This one's running 28.8 grams per ton there from the Trumpet prospect in particular. What else we got here? Here's one, a nice piece of intrusive. This one comes from Corbel. This is a Corbel sample, so this is intrusive. What we're after here in terms of the gold are what they call intrusive related gold systems. And very typical here in this Tintina Gold Province in Alaska, which has been one of the most prolific belts. This particular sample is running 6.98 grams per ton. And there's numerous more. I could go on and on because, of course, not only do we have the deposits at Corbel and RPM, but as I said, 20 other known prospects at various stages of advancement and a whole host of different rock samples. So very exciting. Let's step inside the geology office, and I'll run you through some maps and what we're going to look at today in the field. On the maps behind me, we have RPM. So we'll go there today again here shortly. And we are currently drilling there. We have 2 drill rigs working on the resource drilling there to continue to prove up and expand that deposit. This is really the jewel in the crown in terms of the gold at Estelle. And what you see here, in addition to the hard rock source, which we're drilling now, you can see this red color here. This is a soil surface anomaly, and it's 1.7 kilometer strike length. This is eroded material that's coming off of the main deposit that's filling into that valley. And we've also drilled that this year and put the first drill holes into that to test that material, because it's all crushed up, ready to dig up, and big potential resource upside. In addition to that, there's numerous drill-ready targets along this ridge, which it all presents upside for RPM. And then we'll also go to the Stibium prospect today, which is this map. And you can see here the drilling program that we have planned, all these drill traces that we have planned out. So we are well advanced, and we've applied for U.S. government grant funding to be able to fast track this project to bring antimony online for domestic production of antimony. And Nova Minerals at Estelle here, we've really been a first mover in that space. And we're at the center of that effort to bring that antimony production back to the USA. Antimony is such a key critical mineral for munitions, clean tech, green tech, solar panels, batteries. It really goes on and on, semiconductors. And so we're hoping to be the first mover there and bring that production back to the United States, based right here in Alaska. And so with that introduction, we'll go up to the core shed here in a little bit, but first let's go to Hans out there at the RPM deposit and see what's going on out there.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Welcome to RPM. We're on our pad 24-1 from last year, where we did our RC drilling. And we're kind of situated between the original pad 1, where we had our initial discovery, and pad 23-1, which is up above us. Talk about these pads for a minute. I got to give credit to our Yucuscan pad builders, Alex, Billy, Brian, Caden, John. These guys are really our unsung heroes and the tip of the spear when it comes to setting up these drilling operations. They're dropped off on these ridges with nothing but a pick and a shovel, and slowly cut themselves in with a helicopter LZ and set up their shelter, and then slowly just start cutting back into the mountain and crib stacking 8x8s till we get a nice platform like this. This one's a little smaller than we typically use with the diamond rig, since we're orienting different azimuths. Those ones up there are usually like 40x40, but everything you see here has been flown in by helicopter. We got some great pilots from Saloy, Dion, John, Sam. They're highly skilled operators, and everything you see here comes in on a hook, and brought to the drillers. They assemble the rig, and then all their ancillary equipment, heaters, shelters, light plants are all brought in, fuel tanks, more safety shelters. Up above, we've got a Ruin LF70 with Howard and Chance. They're drilling basically right under our feet in a kind of a window we have in our data. We're bringing some inferred resources up to measured and indicated. And they're on a 335 azimuth and -65 dip. And then down below, we've got Ruin's LF70 rig number 6 with Rob and Cole, and they're actually drilling under the glacier at a 260 -50. And they're kind of chasing this contact that we hit from the northern pad that is like the granodiorite intrusion and hornfells meet just pretty much right under my feet. And we're starting to see it extend out under the glacier. So it's been pretty exciting. I think each one's drilled 6 holes out here this year, the other one 5 holes, and it's early August right now. So we'll see how much time Mother Nature gives us, but we're planning to just go through the rest of the season here. A little bit about the drilling operations. They're diamond core rigs. They bring a core up in a tube, place it on a tray. They orient the core so we know which way all the structures are oriented in space here. It's placed in a core box, and that's put in a basket and hooked back up to the helicopter and flown back to camp at the core shack where Chris is at now.
Thanks, Hans. That was a quick look at the RPM drilling operations. We'll go back up there and take a more detailed look. But it's really all about the drilling operations. Everything here is to support that in our effort to define gold and antimony resources. So what happens is the drilling operations occur out on the claims at various prospects, and then all of that drill core is brought down here to the Whiskey Bravo airstrip sample processing facility. And what you're seeing here is boxes and boxes of drill core that's been coming down off the mountain. So the first step here, bring it down, and then of course it gets logged by our geologists. And so here's one of our logging tents here, and you can see if you have a look inside, we're currently logging some of the latest drill core from RPM and Stibium. Very comprehensive logging. We do geology, mineralization, geotechnical. And here's Sam, one of our geologists. We seeing good stuff today, Sam? Excellent. So very exciting rocks coming out in the current drilling program, of course. Also, what happens here is that on a geological basis, the samples get divided up into intervals, which we sample, and generally that interval is 1.5 meters, but then based on geology, we might change that up a bit. After that, the drill core gets moved over to our cutting shed, and the drill core is cut in half, and then half of that core is kept in the boxes and stored for future reference, and then the other half is put into sample bags, which you see over here, and is brought over to our sample processing facility, which we'll go to now. This is really our pride and joy and brings a lot of efficiencies to the operation. Let's have a look inside. What happens here in the sample prep lab is the samples, those bulk 10 kilo half core samples are dried, crushed, and then split for a small sample that then goes to the assay lab. So we're taking 10, 12 kilo samples, crushing and splitting those down to about 300 grams that then gets shipped off to the assay lab. And we use ALS mainly as our main assay lab. And of course, that volume reduction brings a lot of efficiency and cost savings in terms of freight. So that's really the process. And it goes to the lab, and of course, then we eagerly await the assay results, which, hopefully will be further discoveries of gold and antimony, copper, silver, some of these other elements that we're after. I want to show you something quite special. Here, and we always generally keep this out, what we have laid out here is our discovery hole at RPM. This is drill hole RPM 005. And this is really the drill hole that discovered RPM and determined that it is such a high-grade, world-class deposit. And you can see here, if you zoom in, this is typical intrusive-related gold systems. You can see the veining going out throughout the rocks. Here you see some intrusive. And in this particular hole, what we discovered there was 400 meters at an average grade of 3.5 grams per ton. Included inside that interval is 132 meters at 10 grams per ton. So this is just world-class, spectacular intercept, and we've repeated that over and over in numerous additional holes at RPM. Very exciting, and we're currently drilling into this zone and further offsets with the current drilling that is happening at RPM right now. So at this stage, here comes my helicopter. I'm gonna send you back up to RPM with Hans to take a more detailed look while I fly up to the Stibium prospect.
All right, welcome back to RPM. A little bit about this prospect. It was first discovered on a soils traverse, and we quickly developed a drill target, which is right above us, and the old remnants of pad 1 right below us. Somewhat ironically, this deposit here has kind of led us into the glacial till down below. As we're drilling down here, we can see the glacier actively eroding the deposit, and so we thought maybe the glacier spread some of the deposit out in this till. And last year, we sampled all across this and found a specific debris lobe that averaged like a gram per ton over 60-some samples. So we got our RC rig on there to check the thickness of the till and see if that grade continues on. A lot to scratch at here, and you can only really see the southern half of the claim block. To the north, we've got the Trundle, Tomahawk, Wombat, Portage Pass, and then our way to the north, Cathedral and Corbell deposits, and then our new prospect, Stibium, which is kind of northeast of here. That's where Chris is at now, so I'll pass it back to him.
And we've arrived here at our Stibium prospect. This is one of our main areas where we've discovered significant antimony. We've discovered antimony's significant showings at both Stibium here and Styx, which is a bit further out. Now, just to orient ourselves, we're sitting here about 5 miles from our camp, so we're very close to the camp, which is about 5 miles to the east. So quite easy, quick access to this area here at Stibium. RPM's just to the north of us, just across that hill there, and a bit beyond. And then also something to point out to the west is our Corbell deposit. A significant bulk tonnage gold deposit just up this valley here to the left. Over 6 million ounces are defined there to date. And we continue to drill that and grow that Corbell deposit. In addition to that Corbell, we've made a new discovery just up that valley at a deposit we call Cathedral. So significant upside there as well. But here at Stibium, with the antimony, you can see just in front of me here is one of our drill rigs. And we have put a few holes into this season, just going after the gold, because there's not only antimony here, but also very good gold showings as well. Antimony up to 60% in our surface sampling, and gold up to 141 grams per ton. So we've targeted some short holes early in the season to hopefully come up with a new discovery this year in terms of the gold. Now, to continue that drilling and go a bit deeper and go into those antimony targets, we have, and we're quite advanced with our applications for U.S. government grant funding to fast track the antimony exploration and resource development and eventual extraction to bring that domestic production of antimony back to the United States. And as said, Nova Minerals has really been at the center of that effort, and we've been a first mover in this space. So we're feeling very positive about that. Now, in terms of antimony, what we see here on the surface is massive stibnite veining. And here's a few rocks here, and you can see here's a great example. This here is, very good antimony mineralization. Stibnite, typically a very good indicator. The main primary ore mineral for antimony. You can see those needle-like acicular crystals in this particular piece. Very nice piece, actually. And it's just massive stibnite. And so this is what we intend to extract. And then, as a first step, process this to create antimony trisulfide, which basically stibnite is antimony trisulfide. This is the material that is so highly sought after to bring domestic production back for munitions, semiconductors, batteries, solar panels, flame retardants. Really, the applications for these refined antimony products just go on and on. Here's some more over here. More stibnite. This is, very good stibnite mineralization here at the Stibium prospect. So gold and antimony. Here you can get a really good view of it there. Just beautiful stuff. It's a beautiful mineral, actually. Stibnite is. So that's what we intend to extract and produce here, with the first cab off the rank being the stibnite project, the Stibium project here. Now, gold, antimony, we see at other prospects around our over 200 square mile project site, elevated concentrations of other critical elements, including yttrium, gallium, scandium, tungsten, and we continue to hone in on those. So in the future, we're really taking a holistic approach on this project, not only going after the primary minerals like gold, copper, antimony, but also looking at taking out some of these other critical elements out of our waste streams to bring that production back to the United States. But that's a good look. Thanks for joining us today. That's a good look. I hope you enjoyed it and you got a good closer look at the Estelle project. We're here in the high season now currently, drilling. We have a big news flow to follow here for the rest of the year with the drill results, further discoveries, and progress on the antimony front as well. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Now, to get more information on Nova Minerals, visit nvainfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Nova Minerals. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's recap what we've learned today about Nova Minerals, NVA, on the NASDAQ. Nova Minerals presents a compelling opportunity for those seeking exposure to large-scale gold projects at a significant discount. With its flagship Estelle Gold project in Alaska, the company holds a growing multi-million-ounce gold resource in a region renowned for Tier 1 gold deposits. With a clear pathway to permitting, strong exploration potential, and a feasibility study underway, Nova Minerals offers a high upside, underappreciated asset for investors looking for growth in the gold and critical minerals sectors. Learn more at www.nvainfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small cap stock portal in the industry. It has every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly our client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies, so please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting emerging growth companies.